Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and today we are doing our XFL game predictions. It is 6:42, so this video is going to be a little bit rushed, because I got stuff to do, so yeah. Last week I went 2-2 on the over-unders, 0-4 on the spreads, not the greatest week, 3-1 on the straight-up. It's not looking too good from here, but let's get into it. There's no word of the day. We're just looking forward to a better prediction today. So, to start it off, we have the Houston Roughnecks at Seattle Sea Dragons. And, yeah. So, the Seattle Sea Dragons had a, not the greatest of games against the San Antonio Brahmas. Won 15-6, but their offense was kind of dormant. Did not look all that great. Number one from the Brahmas was just shutting their wide receivers down. Offense could not get it going. Only put up 15 points. Their defense looked good, but that's up against a 1-3 Brahmas team. I mean, I don't know if that's really too much to brag about. It just wasn't the greatest game, and as we've seen in many other weeks, won by 4 points against the Vipers, and I mean they are on a win streak right now. 2 wins after starting off the year 0-2. But, they're still not the greatest team by any means, and the Roughnecks are. I mean, they're 4-0. They have not lost a game. They're one of the hottest teams in the league. They are dominating their opponents, so I have to take the Roughnecks in this one. So, yeah. Now, obviously, with the spread, these Sea Dragons are favored by 3.5 points. By the way, my dad take the Roughnecks 2 straight up. So, yeah. Anyways, the spread is plus 3.5 to the Sea Dragons. But, when you look at all the games that the Roughnecks have played, they have just absolutely dominated their opponents. It has not been close. The closest game was to the Renegades, and they won by 11. I mean, I have to take the Roughnecks here, minus 3.5, because the Seattle Sea Dragons just haven't proven too much to me yet. And so, yeah. Even though they do typically keep their games close, it's just, I don't know. My dad also took the Roughnecks, by the way. Next up, on the over-under, Roughnecks at Seattle Sea Dragons, 42.5 points. The highest over-under we have had this year. But I am going to take the over. I know the Sea Dragons only scored 15 points last week, but these are the two, in my opinion, the two best, well, I don't know if I'd say the best, but you got the best offense in the league, and you got an offense that can definitely put up numbers in certain games. And with the Seattle Sea Dragons, these teams are really high-scoring teams. They're really going to just try to score. I mean, they're not going to run clock. They like to pass the ball. They're going to put the ball in the air. They're going to throw it downfield. There's going to be a lot of scoring in this game. So I'm taking the over. However, my dad is going to take the under. So, yeah. Next up, we have the Defenders at Battlehawks. And that is cool. So, yeah. So, Defenders at Battlehawks. We've already done this game once. The Defenders, of course, won. I took the Battlehawks. I regret that decision because, I was going to take the Defenders going into that, but I was just like, man, I got to take the Battlehawks so that I could cheer for them. You know what? Freak that. I am so mad that I lost that game just because I had to take the Battlehawks. I knew they were going to lose to the Defenders, and they did. And so I'm still mad about that. But now they're going to play the Battlehawks at their home stadium when the last game was just a 6-point game. Home field advantage could definitely make a difference in this. The Battlehawks had the highest attended game in XFL history last week, so home field advantage is definitely going to play a factor. And so, the Battlehawks have been looking really good. I know they lost last week. No, they lost the Defenders already. But, when you play a team twice within the span of like 3 to 4 weeks, I mean, you kind of know what they're doing. It's hard to beat a team twice. It's hard to lose to a team twice. And, such a short span. So I have to take the Battlehawks in this one, and so will my dad. So, yeah. By the way, the other guy that I'm playing just quit on a friendly quit. So there's gonna be a whole bunch of clips in this from every different game genre. So just deal with it. So yeah, I'm taking the Battlehawks in this one, and so is my dad. Next up, we got the spread, and that is going to be where is it? Defenders at Battlehawks over under 42.5 yet again. I really don't trust the websites that I'm getting these over-unders from. They're like, I don't get them from the same place every time, and they're just kind of random. I don't know. But anyways, 42.5 is the number that I have. So, yeah. Both of these teams score a lot of points in certain games. As for the defenders, they have scored 34 points in week 3, scored 32 in week 4. This offense is definitely clicking. This offense is getting it together. And, I think I have to take the over. I mean, if the defenders are putting up 30 points consistently over the last 2 weeks, I mean, I have to take the over with this one. I think the Battlehawks will certainly score more than 12 points, even though they don't have the greatest offense in the world, but I think it's definitely starting to click. And with Austin Prohl being just that dog, it's looking good. So yeah, I'm going to take the over. However, my dad is going to take the under. So, yeah. Next up, we have... No, my bad. My mistake. My dad is going to take the over. My bad. Next up, we got the Guardians at the Vipers. Hold up, I clicked on the wrong freaking thing. Okay, Guardians at the Vipers. And, yeah, so both of these teams are 0-4, which, is not great by any means. So one of these teams will leave with a win today, a $1,000 check, or a $1,000 bonus in their pocket for the first time this season, which will be great for them. And so, yeah, both of these teams are going to be fighting very, very hard. Both of these teams are going to be working their butts off this week to try and just get that first win under the belt and try and just string something together and have a promising performance. I really do feel bad for whatever team loses this, but I'm going to have to take the Vipers. I think Brett Hundley and Luis Perez, they've both been working really hard. They've both been looking really good in the games. Haven't been necessarily able to string together a win, but they are looking good. Especially that offense. Their defense has some problems. As for the Guardians, there's some problems with the coaching. We saw them mic'd up. The head coach Terrell Buckley was, kind of getting on to his offensive coordinator for putting Paxton Lynch back in the game. When you have Francois at backup, who was playing really well, I thought. And, you put Paxton Lynch back in, and to be fair, he did score a couple drives, but I think it just wasn't the right move. And I think this team has definitely lost trust in a lot of areas of the team. So I am going to take the Vipers at home. However, my dad is going to take the Guardians. So, yeah. Next up, we have the spread. And that will be Vipers minus 7.5. That's just crazy. Both of these teams are 0-4. Both of these teams are not that great. 7.5 points is crazy. I think it could definitely go the Vipers' way if the Guardians just absolutely sell. But these teams are going to be so competitive, I don't think it'll be more than a 4-point game. So I'm going to take the Guardians plus 7.5, and so is my dad. So, yeah. Next up, we have the over and under, and I picked the right one this time, which is 41.5. Now look, this one was very tough for me. Both of these teams' offenses have not been great. Both of these teams' defenses have not been great. The Vipers' offense has potential to be great. The Guardians' offense has potential to be great. Both of them can go out and put up big, big numbers against both of their bad, bad defenses. But it's going to be a competitive game. Okay, both of these teams aren't the greatest. Okay, they still have trust issues. Their chemistry is still, they're still working it out.
Absolute dime from Jared Goff.
I think I have to take the under. It's two, not good teams. If they could score, I know both of them only have to score 22 points, but I'm going to take the under. I don't know. It's close, but we will see. And so, my dad will also take the under. Okay. So, yeah. Next up, we have the Renegades at the San Antonio Brahmas. Another interstate matchup, Texas versus Texas. And yeah, so the Renegades are now 2-2 after losing to the Battlehawks, and the Roughnecks have beat the Vipers and have beat they beat the Guardians. But let's be honest, the Renegades have not looked good. They've been testing out new quarterbacks. They had Kyle Slaughter. They've had Drew Plitt. Neither of them have looked great. In my personal opinion, I kind of like Drew Plitt more. I'm not sure why they took him out, but it's whatever. I'm not sure who they're going to be starting in this game at the Brahmas, but I think the Brahmas have just been just a much better team. I really do like the head coach. I mean, I like the head coach for both teams, but I do think Hines Ward is doing a great job with his team, even though they are 1-3. I think he's really teaching them well. He's really, mic'd up on the sidelines. He's really expressing himself, and I think the team, will bond to that. And I got to take the Brahmas in this one. They're at home. I think they've been playing much better football recently. Even though they are 1-3 and have a worse record, I have to take the Brahmas in this one. Jack Cohen, Kalen Balaj, and their wide receivers. I think they can do it. So yeah. Next up, we have the spread, which is I clicked on the wrong thing, of course.
He just gave me a good pass.
Which is Brahmas -2.5. I think this game will be really, really close. I think the Renegades are definitely going to be running the ball. I think the Brahmas are definitely going to be running the ball. Both of them have really good run games, run-oriented coaches, and I think it'll just be a kind of low-scoring game. I think it'll just be a low-scoring game. With yeah, in low-scoring games, it's typically close. It is only -2.5, but I think it'll come down to a 1-point game. It'll just come down to time management, and can your quarterback lead a game-winning drive to win by 1? And the Brahmas have a higher chance to do that with Jack Cohen than whoever they put in at quarterback for the Renegades. So I'm going to take the Renegades with the spread, but you understand why I'm taking the Brahmas overall. So yeah, my dad, however, will take the Brahmas, and that's probably a better decision. When it's going down to 2.5 points, you kind of got to take the team that you're picking. But I really do think it'll be a close game. So yeah. Next up, we got the over/under, and it is 35.5 points. Now, 35.5 points. Okay. That is a very low score. Both the teams only have to score 20 plus 16, which, is a pretty high score, and I think it could definitely be a lower score. And you know what? I was going to take the over on this game since it's such a low over/under, but right now I'm going to switch to the under. I just have to. After everything that I've just said about these two teams, I have to switch to the under. So I'm taking the under at 35.5. You guys just heard my explanation in the last two picks, so yeah. However, my dad will take the over. So yeah. Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'm going to go do my thing that I got to do. So I will leave y'all. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. And I will see you guys next time.
Oh my gosh. Look how crazy I am, bro.